Hi, this is Vicki Polinsky-White, and I hope you enjoy my presentation of the complicated comma. I've always struggled when it comes to commas because there's so many different ways to use them, so that's why I chose to take a look at this chapter in reviewing, because they said pick something that you struggle with, and I struggle with a very complicated comma. So use a comma before a coordinating conjunction joining independent clauses. The coordinating conjunctions are in the hexagon figure to the left. They are but, or, nor, for, so, yet, and. A coordinating conjunction connects two or more independent clauses. Independent clauses are word groups that can stand on their own as a sentence. Example: I wanted to be a marine biologist. I am a secretary. Those are two separate sentences by themselves. So if I want to link them with a coordinating conjunction, then I get I wanted to be a marine biologist, comma, but I am a secretary. So the comma goes before the coordinating conjunction, but. Another infamous comma is known as the Oxford comma, or according to this little blurb here, it's also known as the serial comma or the Harvard comma. Don't know how these commas made it to such big Ivy League schools, but there it is. So I believe it was created at Oxford. So in a serial series, what they're saying here is that's what they're calling the Oxford comma, is that last comma that some people think is optional, but most people should probably put it in because it makes the sentence read clearer than it would without it. So on the right you'll see I love my children, comma, Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. So I don't have a comma there. So you think Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel are my children. On the second sentence, I love my children, comma, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, comma, and Angel. So you can see above there, let's eat grandpa, without a comma, and then let's eat, comma, grandpa. So punctuation matters. Also, on the website that I took this information off of, which is listed on my references page in the back, they also had this See YouTube video, Vampire Weekend, Oxford comma. That's what's mentioned, where they have a hipster band wrote a song about the Oxford comma. So I can hear him saying Oxford comma in the song, but I can't really hear the other lyrics to see in what context it's used. But you may want to check it out just for fun. So use a comma after an introductory clause or phrase. A comma tells readers that the introductory clause or phrase has come to a close and that the main part of the sentence is about to begin. When Irwin was ready to iron, comma, his cat tripped on the cord. Without the comma, readers may think that Irwin is ironing his cat. The comma signals that his cat is the subject of a new clause, not part of the introductory one. This one was taken out of a writer's reference book that we have been using in class. Also, if you Google humorous ways for the commas, humorous ways commas are used or something like that, you'll get a bunch of other funny sentences out there to take a look at for your amusement. The next one is comma with appositives. A positive is a word or word group that defines or further identifies the noun or noun phrase preceding it. That's the important part, preceding it. I think this part always used to confuse me before because I don't think I realized which one was the appositive and which one was the noun, or why in certain circumstances you use a comma and why in certain circumstances you don't. So this one spells it out a little bit better. Rule: when an appositive is essential to the meaning of the noun it belongs to, don't use commas. In the example, CEO Julie Minsky will be our featured speaker. So Julie Minsky is in the appositive part of the sentence here. CEO is your noun. So Julie Minsky is necessary to help identify the CEO, so no commas are used. So basically, if you said CEO will be our featured speaker, you're not saying CEO of blank organization, and you wouldn't really know who the CEO is of the featured speaker, whether it's a certain organization or a certain person, unless it's defined by its appositive. So in this case, the CEO, Julie Minsky, will be our featured speaker. So the Julie Minsky is the appositive that is essential to the meaning of the noun CEO in this example. The next rule is when the noun preceding the appositive provided sufficient identification on its own, use commas around the appositive. In this example, Julie Minsky is the noun, CEO is the appositive, describing the noun will be our featured speaker. If you take out CEO and you just do Julie Minsky will be our featured speaker, well, you still know who your featured speaker is versus the CEO will be our featured speaker. So in this case, Julie Minsky is a precise identifier, so the appositive is surrounded by commas. In this case, unnecessary commas do not use a coordinating conjunction that joins only two words, phrases, or subordinate clauses. George forgot his wallet and came back to get it. In this case, you do not need a comma after George forgot his wallet. The next one is do not use a comma to separate a verb from its subject or object. In this example, conference centers with individual working spaces are becoming more popular. You do not need to put a comma after conference centers with individual working spaces. Conference centers is your noun, are becoming is your verb. So you've got it. If you don't want to put a comma between your noun and your verb. The next one is do not use a comma before the first or after the last item in a series. You will need flour, comma, water, comma, and yeast in order to make the dinner rolls. So you do not need a comma before the word flour or after the word yeast, which is the last item in the series of three there. So your comma after water is your Oxford comma. Do not use a comma after a coordinating conjunction, and, but, or, nor, for, so, and yet, after such as or like, after although, before a parenthesis, to set off an indirect quotation, or with a question mark or an exclamation point. So as you see, do not use a comma after a coordinating conjunction, and our first slide said use a comma before a coordinating conjunction. So I hope this helps straighten some stuff out regarding commas for you as it did for me. Thanks, and have a great day.